What are some of the greatest stories in sports? I think that one obviously would be second chances when guys you see go from being such a star in the league or a guy that's has so much expectation on them and is expected to do amazing things in the league. They don't do well or they dip off or they do whatever, come back, get their second chance and then really go on to be some of the greatest players that the league has ever seen. And it's just a really good feel good story when you have guys who are able to come back and get second chances. Even when they make mistakes, even when they do things that they shouldn't have in the past, it's always a feel-good story when you see a guy get a second chance. And that's what we have today. Ladies and gentlemen, ex-Ohio State Buckeye star quarterback. He was a Heisman finalist in what year? 2017, 2018? I think it was 2018. Heisman finalist. Like, this guy had potential. This guy had tons and tons and tons of potential to become a star in this league. He had the arm. He had the mobility. He had all this different stuff that he showed at Ohio State, and that was a big reason why Ohio State, even though they had one loss that year, which I'm pretty sure that was to Purdue, if they didn't lose that game, they were going to be in the college football playoff, and they were going to do something special in that college football playoff. Nonetheless, Dwayne Haskins, an amazing ball player, but just when he got to the NFL, he got distracted by other things that I'm not allowed to talk about on this channel because I will get demonetized on this video and I'll get a channel strike. So I do not want to talk about what Dwayne Haskins got involved with outside of football and all this other stuff that he got distracted with by football. But sticking on the football page, he was not good this season. He was not good at all. I think that saying he was average is an understatement. He was below average. He was pretty bad this season. Like, bottom line, he was terrible. He was absolutely terrible. This season, he threw 1,439 yards for 5 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and a total QB rating of, get this, 31. He had a 31 QB rating in his 2020 season. It was just a poor season for Dwayne Haskins. And like, I feel bad for him, but I also don't, because you know all the stuff that went on behind the scenes and everything with Dwayne Haskins. I mean, we don't completely know this. It's all just stuff we've heard from the media and everything. You know everything that's gone on behind the scenes with Dwayne Haskins. And I was the guy, I'm not even gonna lie, one of my earliest videos on this channel was talking about who I think that the New York Giants should take with their pick of the draft, because I didn't think that the Arizona Cardinals, after picking Josh Rosen the previous year, were going to take a quarterback in the draft. I was wrong. My video was between who would I take, Dwayne Haskins or Kyler Murray, and guess who I took? Of course I took Dwayne Haskins, and I'm not ashamed of that. Back then, I did think Dwayne Haskins was going to be the better quarterback than Kyler Murray, and I'm wrong now. Just admit it, just move on with it. But Dwayne Haskins is getting his second chance with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and will he make the most of this opportunity? The whole situation in Pittsburgh is confusing right now, and honestly, I don't know what's going to happen, because Big Ben, I don't think he's officially retired yet. I think that it's most likely going to happen. You have Mason Rudolph being the backup quarterback there, and then you have now Dwayne Haskins as being another quarterback there. Who is going to take the quarterback position? Is there opportunity for Dwayne Haskins to go into Pittsburgh, have an amazing camp or whatever? What does Pittsburgh do in the draft? That's another thing that I forgot to mention. There's an absolutely loaded class of QBs in this NFL draft this year. You're going to have, obviously, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Mac Jones should all be off the board by the Steelers pick. But then you got guys like Jamie Newman. I'm not a big fan of him, but Jamie Newman will still be on the board. Kyle Trask, Heisman finalist. He's a guy that I'm really going to be looking out for. Maybe the Steelers go and grab him. There's a ton of different guys and talented guys in this QB draft class this year that the Pittsburgh Steelers could go bring up. So Haskins could find himself as the third string quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, or he might be able to find himself starting week 1. I have no clue yet. Obviously, that's a bit of a long shot, but you never know in this league. You never know in this league what's going to happen, because 1 second, you look at a guy like Cam Newton, MVP 2015, and you fast forward to this season where he's not having a good season with the Patriots at all. He has a very weak season. Cam Newton being one of my all-time favorite players in the NFL. call it what you will. You guys, I know a ton of people have problems with Cam Newton, but Cam Newton honestly is one of my favorite players. I loved watching Cam Newton at Carolina and continued watching him at the beginning of the first half of the season in New England this year. I had an amazing time watching him, like especially that Seattle game, even though they lost that game and Cam Newton had a rush from the 1 yard line to go in and win that ball game and he came up just short. He was still a fun, electric player to watch, and watching the Patriots this season for the first half was actually quite enjoyable. But Dwayne Haskins, man, you're going to have to focus a lot more on football. We know that's going to have to happen. Football is going to have to be your main focus if you want to have a career in this league. It's the same with all other superstars in this league. Like, you look at guys like Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger even. You have all these superstars, all these guys who have been around the league for so long. Do you think that their focus? Well, I said Big Ben. That's another thing where there are other outside distractions. But for the most part, those guys, their main focus was football through and through. And that was that. Like, football was their focus. That's what their career was. And they knew that they had to constantly keep getting better to withstand the league, because these guys are old guys and they're still playing in the league, even though Drew Brees looks like he's going to retire and Big Ben probably will too. Tom Brady looks like he's going to go another season. He looks like he's good to go for one more or two more seasons. He's unbelievable, but because their focus was football, their focus was always getting better. Is that what Dwayne Haskins focuses on? Or is football just his career and he's just going through the motions of being an NFL player? Because there's a huge difference between going through the motions of being a football player and wanting and practicing and going through all the necessary actions to become a star football player. There's two very, very different things. That determines, let's say, the guys on the practice squad and the guys who are starting. It might not be talent. You have some talent on these practice squads. I guarantee you have some raw talent on these practice squads. It's just some of those guys just don't put in the work that the other guys were willing to put in. They aren't as committed. And I don't want to speak for everyone in the NFL, because I guarantee you there are some practice guys on the practice squad who are working their butt off each and every day to get an opportunity on the field. I can guarantee you that. But also, I feel like there are some players that definitely have the raw talent to go out and be successful in the NFL. They just don't. So Dwayne Haskins, he has the talent. He has the arm strength. He has all these different attributes to be a successful player in the NFL. Question is, will he focus enough on wanting to be an NFL player, and will he get his chance in Pittsburgh? I believe that we will see him on the field one time next season. I don't know when that is. Maybe Rudolph gets hurt. Maybe their draft quarterback gets hurt. Whatever. There's going to be an injury happen. Dwayne Haskins is going to reach the field one more time in the NFL. Will he make the most of that opportunity? We're going to have to see. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I appreciate it. Definitely like the video down below. Comment anything about the Steelers, Dwayne Haskins, or NFL football. And thank you for watching, and come back next time.